another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I am Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn, and I wanted to come on to do a live stream about the big story at hand today, which is the Hunter Biden guilty verdict in the state of Delaware. If you guys don't know, Hunter Biden was found guilty in reference to a gun application that he said he wasn't a drug addict within that application or on that application, which you're not supposed to do when you purchase a firearm and you fill out that federal form. Like one of the questions that they ask is whether you're using drugs or you're addicted to drugs, what have you. And he also disposed of that weapon between either he or his dead brother's ex-wife, who he started fucking with afterwards. She may have disposed of it, if I remember, got my story straight. And there were 3 charges in reference to this gun, and as of today, he was found guilty in the Delaware federal court. Now, I'm not taking a victory lap for that, even though it is like, I'm not taking a victory lap of what he got convicted for ultimately, which is anything to do with the Second Amendment or guns. I don't like to infringe on that stuff. Personally, I don't think that it should be illegal for people that use drugs, especially socially, or that aren't addicted to drugs. You know, they do their little smoke their weed here and there, or do Molly when they go out occasionally, or when they're having a festive good old time and they want to cut a couple lines. I don't care. I think all drugs should be legal. I also think that if you're a casual user of drugs, you shouldn't have your ability to own a weapon taken away from you. I think I'd rather find more reasons as to why you should not have your weapons taken away than reasons for your weapon be taken away. And yes, drug use, I don't think, is a legitimate reason for Hunter Biden in this case to have his weapons taken away or not be allowed to use weapons. Damn, I just saw something on the road that looked fucked up. Having said that, so I'm not going to take a victory lap, even though I'm not pro the current president. I'm not too enamored by the actions of his son either, in the sense that Hunter Biden has gotten to take advantage of the Biden name, and this is going on for decades. I would have rather see a conviction or an investigation in that vein rather than for this gun. So I mean, in terms of if I'm rooting for conservative interest versus liberal interest, which is the game I have to play now based on like where things are going right now, based on the fact that there's an election coming up, based on the fact that this country is all screwed up. So my choices in this game of left versus right, I'm rooting for the right, of course. Am I cemented to the right? No, because I mean, 10 years ago, I probably would have been considered pretty liberal. But now extreme right is basically center of 10 years ago. So no, I'm not like a conservative party guy, none of that stuff. But right now it's basically Mr. T versus Mr. Sleepy. And I don't want Mr. Sleepy to win again. I mean, I've been pretty candid about that. But is this a victory for Mr. T that Hunter Biden gets this conviction for the gun charge? Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not the kind of victory I like, because I'm a Second Amendment absolutist, if you will. But the one good thing that was presented in this case, or one good outcome that was presented in this case, is the fact that Hunter Biden's laptop, which was in the possession of the FBI since 2019, well, that Hunter Biden laptop, which the month before the election, October of 2022, that Hunter Biden laptop was put out into the stratosphere, into the world. It was claimed that this laptop with a bunch of illicit information, which had a lot of Hunter Biden's movements, his shady dealings, his drug use. That laptop, the month before the 2020 election, was put out to the public in October. Immediately after that, 51 ex-intelligence agents said that the releasing of that laptop was the hallmark of a Russian disinformation story. And damn, have I not been live this whole time? Or the Hunter Biden laptop that was censored in the media. You couldn't share the New York Post story that first broke the Hunter Biden laptop. You couldn't share that on social media, even though the New York Post is the oldest newspaper in the country. The social media took the that they were gonna play the company line of Hunter Biden's laptop being Russian disinformation. So you have the intelligence apparatus helped out Joe Biden in this case, because we were 1 month from the election, and they basically said that the story and everything to do with Hunter Biden's laptop was pretty much fake, by saying that it was a Russian disinformation campaign. And again, this happened 1 month before the election. They some people say, oh well, they were trying to help Joe Biden, but that's funky, because Joe Biden wasn't the president at that time. Joe Biden was a civilian. So those 51 intelligence agents used their power prior to the election to steer votes away from Trump. That can't be disputed at this point. If you are, I mean, you got your head in the sand, and I really don't need to try to convince you. I mean, but that's what happened. It was all fake according to some people. It's probably still fake according to some people that this Hunter Biden laptop actually exists. But the good thing about this Hunter Biden conviction in the state of Delaware was that the FBI entered into the record the Hunter Biden laptop. So basically, they validated that the Hunter Biden laptop was real in this court case against Hunter Biden for a gun charge. So again, I don't want Hunter Biden to go to jail for guns. I don't want anybody to go to jail for guns unless they're using them when they're not supposed to. But so no, I'm not cheering for that. But I am happy that finally, after, I mean, what, 3 years, 4 years, the intelligence agents that the 51 intelligence agents that said that the Hunter Biden laptop had all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation. I'm doing the air quotes with my left. Now that's been proven to be all a lie. So that's a good thing. Also, too, the reason I'm saying that I don't really care about this gun conviction is because I would have rather the elements within that laptop, or the content of that laptop, which showed a lot of shady dealings, which showed Hunter Biden making money internationally for introducing people, what it seems like, introducing people to have access to his father, Joe Biden, at that time, who in some cases, Joe Biden was the vice president at that time, and in some cases, Joe was the ex-vice president. Hunter Biden was to his father, to these people from China, from Serbia, from Russia, even from Ukraine especially. Hunter Biden was also given a sweetheart job with the energy company in the Ukraine called Burisma. A lot of the details of his dealings for Burisma, a company that produces energy, basically oil, in the Ukraine, which Hunter Biden sat on the board of. Hunter Biden was getting paid, I believe, $1 million or close to $1 million per month to sit on the board of this company, to basically have a no-show job. No, Hunter wasn't providing anything of substance to a company in the Ukraine. Hunter Biden is a lawyer from America, or trained lawyer, I guess. I don't know if he ever worked as a lawyer. I think most of his employment as an adult was basically being a swampy guy who capitalizes off the Biden name. In addition to, there's evidence of the fact on that laptop that other people in the Biden family are capitalizing off his name. Not including, but not limited to Hunter Biden. I mean, Joe Biden's sister, Joe Biden's brother, some of Joe Biden's grandkids were getting money sent to them by these people that were trying to basically get access to the senior Biden of the crew, which was our current president, Joe Biden. So I want to know more about those things than I do about what Hunter Biden does with his weaponry while he's intoxicated. I don't care what Hunter Biden does with his weapons while he's fucked up. Unless he hurts somebody, unless he kills somebody that didn't have it coming, I could really care less what he does with his guns. And, you know, in my mind, they're his guns. I mean, like, yeah, was it dumb for him to throw it out in a supermarket where a kid could have access? Yeah, but as a principle, I'm always going to take the stance of not infringing upon the Second Amendment. But in the grand scheme of things, I mean, if my choice were for Hunter Biden to get convicted on this or not, I would probably say yes, only because of what was discovered in this trial. The Hunter Biden laptop is not the only funky thing that was introduced in this trial. If you guys don't know, Hunter Biden was actually going to plead in this case and probably get a slap on the wrist, maybe probation and fines. But when the judge saw the plea agreement, it basically said that Hunter Biden was going to plead out to this case, and that any future cases or any future crimes that he committed couldn't be charged for. And the judge threw it back and said she wasn't going to sign off on such an easy going plea agreement. And the plea agreement came from the Delaware feds, probably the office of Weiss, I believe, the Delaware federal DA or prosecutor, whatever he is. The people that ultimately prosecuted Hunter Biden, I think his name is Attorney Weiss or District Attorney Weiss. I know he's a Fed though. Basically conjured up this sweetheart deal before, a couple months ago, and Hunter Biden was going to accept it, which basically absolved him from any future crimes for the most part, and crimes not associated to his mishandling of this gun. The judge shot it back out and said no, she's not going to sign off on that agreement. Hunter Biden said, well, fuck it, I'm going to take it to trial. Hunter Biden takes it to trial and he loses. I mean, like, because it's kind of, he couldn't really weasel his way out of getting a gun conviction in this instance if he was going to take it to trial. Not sure what type of time he's facing. Don't care. I mean, if I had to choose whether him going to jail or not, I'd probably select for him not to go to jail. And not because I'm going easy on the Bidens. I mean, I'm one of the toughest people on the Bidens that I know, as far as like in my circle of friends or content creators that I'm cool with and whatnot. I get a lot of shit for that too. I mean, like, you know, I'm a Puerto Rican dude from the hood. So to debate any sort of conservative principle on YouTube, I mean, it's a full-time job. Especially in the midst of so-called, quote-unquote, double quote-unquote, minorities. So-called minorities. The Spaniards and the Negroes. You know, it's really hard at times. I mean, coming up and growing up around my people that are Black and Latino to convince them of anything that sounds even a tinge conservative to what they feel is really against it. And that, like, now, I mean, since 2020, Trump hurt a lot of people. I understand that, but I catch a lot of shit for trying to expound on these things. unless it's me saying, man, fuck that motherfucking Trump. Like, I mean, if I'm not saying that, I mean, people will largely tune me out. But I mean, on a personal note, I mean, on a personal level, like as far as in my hood in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, more and more people since 2023, 2024 are coming around to the fact that a lot of people have been duped. Trump wasn't the worst person in the world, whether you love him or hate him. There were bigger things happening as in the country, like the plan, what seems like a plan now that it's actually materialized for liberals to allow migrants to pour into the country. I mean, that was done purposely under the Biden watch. People are more concerned with that. People are more concerned with high interest rates, the high cost of food, the high cost of gas, the fact that we're on the brink of World War III in many venues. Here close to America, you have Russia that just brought a nuclear sub, in addition to, I believe, 3 warships to Cuba, which is 90 miles from America. So, I mean, things are getting hairy all around the world, but the media was making it seem like the only hairy thing or the only bad thing that's happening in the world is the fact that Mr. T exists. And people aren't falling for that shit no more. I mean, most people are nowadays saying, oh, I'm not going to vote. They both suck. Which means they're either going to vote for Mr. T or not vote at all. Or there are a lot of times people that I know that say they both suck. They just don't want to admit that Joe Biden is terrible. Joe Biden's been terrible. Joe Biden was a terrible person before he became the president. Joe Biden wasn't smart before he became the president. Joe Biden wasn't smart as a senator. Joe Biden wasn't smart in the 80s. Joe Biden was a piece of shit in the 90s, etc., etc., etc. Let me see. FJB, what are you thinking? No, I mean, absolutely. Brandon gets no love on this channel, friend. And also, too, if I'm holding this phone while I'm driving, so if I don't read the comments immediately, I apologize, but do comment though, because I barely get any comments on this channel. But yeah, no, I to hell with Joe Biden, to hell with his clan. I mean, like, and also too, in regards to this conviction too, Joe Biden just today, he barely makes any speeches, barely makes appearances, but just today he was speaking in front of a group in Washington D.C. that's basically anti-weaponry, anti-gun, if you will. So I don't know if they're going to try to use this as some sort of false equivocation, like, hey, listen, my son went down, so if Trump goes down or if Trump goes to jail, well, that means that there's... No, I don't subscribe to that notion. That's a false information. Joe Biden, Hunter Biden is getting a slap on the wrist for probably and could also get pardoned ultimately, which I don't know if Joe Biden's going to pardon him. He might pardon him on his way out of office. I think right now, if he pardoned him, which I would have done if it were my son, I would have done it in the immediate sense. I would have not let it linger, especially if I were a liberal and I had control of all the media like the liberals do. I would have just came out today if I were Joe Biden and said, I pardon my son officially. Look over there, and Trump's mean. That's it. Like, and the media would have ran with it and made it a non-story by this weekend. But Joe Biden could also pardon Trump on his way out of office, which he may do. But right now, it would be a politically real can of worms if he pardoned him right now. I mean, it'd probably be even worse as you get closer to the election. But if he were to lose the election and on his way out of office pardon his son, I don't think most people would care on the conservative side, or the right, if you will. But again, I mean, so Joe Biden is likely hanging his son out to dry in this instance. Who knows? I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think it'd be a real gangster move if Trump came into office and pardoned Hunter Biden. I think it'd be even more gangster if Trump had his came into office and tried to cut a deal with Hunter Biden to give up information on some of these shady characters that he was dealing with, especially if they were here in America, here domestically, because a lot of people are getting their their beaks wet, politicians namely, in the Ukraine. Ukraine is a big time money laundering operation in my eyes, pushing for more war, and you also have hard evidence of his family being involved with an enterprise that basically capitalizes off the Biden name. I mean, do with that what will. But again, if Hunter Biden sees jail time for this conviction, no, it doesn't mean that there's justice. I believe that at this stage right now, the justice system is broken. So if my enemies, or if the people that I consider opposed to my ideas politically go to jail, I don't think that there's justice because of that. I think that, maybe the justice system was wielded against them that day, but no, with what's happening to Trump in Georgia, in the Mar-a-Lago case, in these two cases in D.C., in New York, I still have to say that there's no justice in the system. Trump is seen for really BS cases in his direction. He was actually found guilty in New York for basically doing nothing, a big nothing burger, like basically saying that Trump paid Stormy Daniels with campaign money when you really can't prove if that was campaign money or if that was money of the billions that Donald Trump has. Anybody who tells you otherwise really hasn't kept up with the case. And another thing too, as a matter of principle, I'm hearing other people talk about these instances, and they always tinge it against Donald Trump or with they all suck kind of attitude. No, it's too dangerous of a time to give people an inch nowadays. And honestly too, when I hear people talk about mostly Mr. T's convictions, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, talking out their ass, or basically repeating some shit that they may have heard in passing by MSNBC, sorry. But most people don't know what the hell they're talking about. Talk to people, volley back and forth. Emotional over Trump, I know I really can't have regular discourse. Get emotional over Trump. I don't have 100% trust in Trump, even though I really, really want him to become the next president and become the custodian of this land that I live in. But I don't trust in any man. But when you try to have political discourse at times, you talk to people who don't know what the hell they're talking about, one, but two, that want to shade everything as, Trump's guilty too. And I don't really have time to talk to people like that anymore. Like, I'm not going to really bother. I'm not trying to convince nobody of nothing. And I'm not trying to convince people to research shit that they don't want to be true. A lot of people rather cover their ears and make it seem like nothing's really happening. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's a conspiracy theory. But tell these people that Donald Trump shit his pants or something, that there was a rumor that Donald Trump shit his pants, and they'll make a video the following day. Oh, that motherfucker couldn't even hold his bladder. Or tell people that that Donald Trump beat up the Secret Security on January 6th and took control of the vehicle that the Secret Service was operating with no proof. That was just a story that was put out there. The media ran with it for like 2 days, and then it became cemented in people's mind, and that was true. But the people that at times I have disagreements with online regarding politics here in America, they won't even take the time to verify if a story is true, like the ones I've just mentioned, which those are both stories that were put out in the lexicon or out into the world regarding Mr. T. people won't research like if that was true or not, or like people say like reading a story that was just a rumor and that somebody heard something, and they'll run with that like it was in the Bible. But if you tell them, hey, look at this, these stats or these articles that may look bad on Biden, or that may look Trump, may look Trump better, and they act like you told them to cut off one of their kids' toes or some shit. So I mean, I don't really have time to go into the back and forth with people. I know what I know. I mean, I have more than enough time to read and whatnot, and I tend to, especially about geopolitical issues. But I'm not one of these people that's gonna give an inch on these issues no more. Like I don't like people play dirty when discussing these issues, and I really initially I thought that people would discuss these issues in a straight up fashion, but they don't. Sorry to say. So I mean, I rather just put my own perspective out. I mean, if you agree, you would comment in the chats. You would comment after the fact. I don't block nobody. I don't give a shit what your background is. I don't care if you're racist. I don't care if you're racist to Puerto Ricans like me. I don't care if you think I'm a piece of shit. You're always welcome on this channel. You're welcome to tell me that on this channel. As long as you don't troll my shit and make it hard, or make it where my videos get taken down, you can have any sort of perspective you want. But just don't try to think that I'm gonna be guilt tripped or made to feel as if you're not emotionally damaged by Mr. T, which a lot of these people on the internet, on YouTube, are super emotionally damaged by Mr. T. Mr. T must have touched them in a weird way. I mean, or they talk like Mr. T touched them in a weird way. So I really can't go back and forth with these instances like that. I could just provide what I know of what I've read, and that's it. The burden of proof isn't on me. I mean, if you want to dispute something I say, I mean, look it up. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But the burden of proof lies on you. I mean, a lot of people have been completely wrong about Mr. T. I wasn't wrong about Mr. T. A lot of people, now the hood agrees with me. A lot of people were wrong about the arm poke of 2021, and I was right about the arm poke of 2021. That shit was ineffective, didn't work, and it got people sick, it seems. A lot of people were dead wrong about the power flu of 2021. I was right about the power flu of 2021. In all these instances that I mentioned, if you were to take the stance that I was taking at the time in which I mentioned, I mean, in 2021, if you were anti getting poked in the arm with the power vax, you know, you were basically looked like you were a demon, like you were anti-science. But I held my stance. I mean, not that I'm super smart, but I knew what was what. Like, if they're offering you something for free, it's usually no good. If you felt like the government was completely bad from 2016 and to 2020, conveniently, because Mr. T's so bad, but then made it seem like any move that Mr. Sleepy Joe makes in 2021 was great. I mean, I was right about that too. I was right about Sleepy Joe being a racist. I knew that beforehand. I knew Sleepy Joe gave a tongue lashing to the black leaders in November of 2020 after he got elected, basically telling them, I ain't gonna do shit for you. These are all facts. I mean, if you want to look it up too, I mean, look up Joe Biden meeting with the black leaders in 2020. Kick sand. I'm not doing shit for y'all. You better get in line with the Mexicans and the Spanish people that are moving into this country, because they're gonna outnumber you soon. These are facts. Again, but all these things, and time only reinforces my stances on the things that I'm mentioning. I'm totally right about the Biden clan too. The Biden clan is extremely corrupt. Joe Biden might be the most corrupt politician alive in America, bar none. I mean, Joe Biden's been doing the same shit probably since the 70s, capitalizing off his name. He's a bully. Joe Biden talks like an asshole. Even now, as an older man, he's very snappy. And this is not somebody that is pushed out to the public many times. Like, how often do you hear Joe Biden speak? I mean, once every four times a year, maybe. And they do that because Joe Biden ain't running shit. People that are pushing Joe Biden out there and pumping up with all kinds of methamphetamine so that he could talk and keep his eyes open for an hour are the ones that are really pulling the strings with Joe Biden, are the ones that are really pulling the strings with this country and all the bad things that are happening here in the last couple of years. But don't lose hope. I think things are going to get a lot better. I think, again, the biggest thing that came from this trial is the fact that the Hunter Biden laptop has been presented into evidence officially by the FBI, which basically, and they also validated that the laptop and all the content within are Hunter Biden's. There's also a report called the Marco Polo report, which actually made a hard copy of every single thing that was in that laptop, in the Hunter Biden laptop. I forgot the guy's name. I know he has a Jewish last name. But if you guys ever get curious and wanted to see what was in the Hunter Biden laptop, I mean, that could probably be your source. I actually have seen some of the stuff that was put out there in the internet. Like the liberals, they'll constantly throw up, because Hunter Biden had pictures with him holding a gun and showing his Johnson naked on that computer. And the liberals, because they always bring things into real perverted sensationalism talk, they'll say, oh, well, the Republicans are crazy about sharing dick pics of Hunter Biden, or like they're just obsessed with his dick. Like motherfucker, like, you're bringing it up. I mean, it seems like you're obsessed with the male organs. But the fact that Hunter Biden showed his male organs with the gun, I don't care about any of that stuff. That's not illegal. I care more about the business dealings that Hunter Biden was having with the country of China, with China's top spy, I think Mr. Ho, I believe his name was. And Hunter Biden actually describes this stuff on the laptop. This is stuff that is a treasure trove of information of these salacious dealings that are happening here in America by politicians, it seems, with enemies of America like China, with enemies of America like Russia, who Hunter Biden has done dealings with. He's also done dealings with China. He's also done dealings with Ukraine and a lot of these countries. We're either are rivals of ours. We're in support of one faction of some all-out combat that's happening in those countries, like the Ukraine. China's getting ready to take on Taiwan. I mean, like, what if they have bad information about our current president or his son, and our current president has to make some sort of combat or world-related decision or American-related decision against China, that could affect that collateral that China holds over the president, could affect his decision making. So yeah, it's really dangerous, these things that are happening. But the good thing, again, is that now people can't BS you and say that the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop are not true. It was input into the record by the FBI. I'm sure that the FBI, having that laptop since 2019, knows every nook and cranny within. They know all about Hunter Biden's shady dealings. But are they pressing him for that? No, they're not. They're pressing him for lying about buying a gun and mishandling a gun or disposing of a gun in a non-legal fashion. But again, people can now look at this laptop, find out what the grim and gory is. That's a good thing. In terms of Trump's other cases, like a little bit of news that I've been following is the Young Thug YSL case in Fulton County, Georgia. That case, if you guys don't know, fell apart yesterday. And it's the biggest story because I don't listen to rap and I don't know one song that Young Thug made. I don't want to see the brother get incarcerated. It seems like a lot of his case is a bunch of BS too, and that actually played out in court yesterday. But as far as having political implications, that's the same court, same building in which Trump is also facing a RICO charges for election interference. It's Fannie Willis's same office that played themselves yesterday and got Young Thug's lawyer arrested in the courtroom because he found out that they were trying to do shady dealings without his knowing. When and the prosecutor, Young Thug's lawyer, found out that this meeting took place without him knowing, which basically compromised his client. He called the judge out in person on the spot, and the judge basically arrested him on the spot. Now, why is that important? The reason that that's important is that, again, this is the same court, the same district attorney that's going after Trump with a nut burger of a case. Trump did nothing illegal in Georgia, not one bit. I'm not sure about the 17 other defendants, but I'm pretty sure that if they did do anything, it was minor, and they're gonna get the book thrown at them. But that doesn't make Trump liable or guilty of anything, if you will. But it does show that the Fulton County district attorney is corrupt, not only with the Trump case, but the fact that they're going so hard after Young Thug in this case. But also, too, it shows that there's really hard to get justice in this county, in this Fulton County. And the pendulum's going to swing the other way, trust me. I mean, when Trump walks into the White House, because Trump had a battle into the White House. If election, Trump was going to have a really running again for president, just because the media 100% against Trump, even Fox News. Excuse me. The political apparatus is 100% against Trump for the most part, even Republicans. So Trump was going to have a devil of a time getting elected here in 2024 in this upcoming election. Now at this stage, with the fact that you see people in the hood endorsing Trump, with the fact that most people, not only in the hood but everywhere, can't stand Joe Biden, Trump, and the fact that these cases against Trump, which were probably intended to make Trump look like a convict, to disenfranchise people from voting for him, with the theory that, oh, this guy's guilty of a crime, so he's not worthy of your vote. People have seen through that more and more every day. So Trump's going to be able to walk into the White House at this stage. He's not going to battle into the White House. If things are straight up and there's no votes go brr apparatus that's working against Trump on a mass level, Trump's going to waltz into the White House in 2024. Hate to break it to you, but when Trump does get into the White House, it's going to be hard for people to say, oh, well, don't investigate the, these liberals and see what they're involved with, see who they're gotten money from, investigate their families. That stuff's all going to be fair play at that point. Now, it's kind of dangerous for politics to go in that direction, in the sense of when Republicans win, then it's a mass witch hunt against the libs. And when the liberals win, it's a mass witch hunt against the conservatives. Do you want politics to play out like that in America? I don't, personally. I mean, but Trump has every right when he gets into office, based on what was done to him, to really go after these people. But and that's going to happen, I mean, once he gets into office. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Now Trump knows how this game is played. Now Trump knows the people that supposedly acted like they had his back and then backstabbed him. Trump got the game laid out right now for when he comes back into 2024, provided nothing crazy happens. Trump also got a new standard of dealing with these people, which is basically to deal with these people how they dealt with him, and that's totally fair. But one good thing that's coming with this, with the perception of Trump falling apart, the perception that was invented by the media, that Trump was this demon, that stuff's all falling apart. And the media, which has pushed out that perception of nothing bad in the world is happening with the exception of Trump, the media is falling apart. Nobody listens to the media. I'm getting algorithmically screwed by YouTube. But most people believe more what I'm saying, especially if you're here now, than what they hear on CNN or what they hear on CBS. I mean, and I'm some bum that got a GED, Puerto Rican dude from Sunset Park, but I'm not gonna bullshit you. And the media, all they do is bullshit you. But the media is not gonna be able to come back from this, and that's a great thing. We're entering into a whole new world with just that. I look at things with a lot of bright disposition. Like, things are gonna get way better, I feel, really soon. I have a lot of faith in the land that I live in. I mean, it's bountiful. You're driving with me through the state of New Jersey, and all you see is greenery. I mean, these are shitty weeds, but I mean, like, all this could be fruits, vegetables. We have a lush land here in America, and we have a ton of oil beneath these roads that I'm driving in as well. All the energy potential for this country and the entire world is right here under my feet. And Donald Trump's policies, like drill baby drill, are going to give us, the people, access to these things by way of lowering the prices of everything. If gas goes up in price, everything goes up in price. Everything you own, everything you eat is brought to you by the power of gas. It's not brought to you by the power of Tesla. Electric sucks. Electric technology is okay if you live in the city. Electric technology, if it's enforced where trucks got to become electric, is a death sentence to this country. And I'm glad that that association of Trump equals drilling or Trump equals gas versus Joe Biden equals green. People are seeing through that, or and don't want any part of the green bullshit either. I mean, that's not the. I mean, and that's a huge problem. The fact that things cost more expensive because gas is more expensive.
Use the right 2 lanes to stay to the right. I-78 local east toward Garden State Parkway, Newark.
Is one of the biggest things affecting the pockets of American consumers who are already broke by being taxed, rent's going up, everything's going up in price. But if you're gonna tell me, the media, that the worst thing happening is the existence of Mr. T, or a potential presidency of Mr. T, then made it seem like you had to. It made it seem like you were anti-science if you weren't pro-mandate. Made it seem like you should be paying more for your groceries because of Ukrainians. They made it seem like Alinsky was this patron saint, and fucking Tom Cruise slash George Washington slash fucking Patton mixed into one. These people are always wrong. They always deceive you. And that's purposely. The intention of the media is to deceive you. And that trick ain't gonna work. Has all their chips in the middle of the table to go after one man. They don't care what happens. They just want to go after that one man. And they don't care if you don't tune into the media any longer. They just want to lie to you up until 2024, it seems, and take their chances. But I'm glad they're taking that risk because most people are tuning out. Most people don't believe politicians any longer. Most people see that the liberals are extremely dangerous, lunatics, corrupt, slime. The biggest bane of the whole world is the liberal agenda, and people are seeing that now. I mean, these people are degenerates. These people are scumbags. These people are racist. I mean, in New York, I've never really dealt with many conservatives, quote unquote, because I did. It was most of the people that had families, my friends that had dads and whatnot, that had regular homes. But I've dealt with hyper liberals, and hyper liberals in New York City fucking detest black people. They hate Spanish people. If they see Spanish and people sitting on their stoop, they're gonna call the cops. It happened many times. If they see, they'll throw themselves into a situation to get Spanish and black people. Seen that many times in New York City. Liberal white people from New York City. I'm not saying, and their brain rot, liberal brain rot, has caught on to my peoples, the Spanish and black people. And now it's not working as well. It's not working any longer. I think a lot of people are thankfully snapping out of it, and we're living in really great times. I mean, buckle up. Things are gonna get bumpy. I mean, I know that Mr. T is gonna be able to waltz into the White House in 2024. Yes, but do I think that they're gonna try to play themselves and do something stupid to Mr. T? It's really likely. Tulsi Gabbard made a video 2 days ago regarding a law that's being pushed in the Senate, I believe, for Mr. T to not be able to have a security detail because he, quote unquote, disgraced himself. Some sort of bill. I'm not sure what it is. Because, and I say that because some asshole is going to follow this video after the fact, like they always do, and then say, oh, well, that's not what the bill says. Like if they fucking looked up anything regarding the bill or whatnot, or like they're experts in legalese. Like everybody's a fucking lawyer now when it comes to going against seeing obvious things regarding Joe Biden. Motherfuckers act like they're blind. But this is all taking place now. I mean, my point that I wanted to make was that I don't, in spite of the fact that Joe Biden is immensely unpopular and Mr. T is becoming a real populist candidate in the truest sense of the word, popular with the black voters now, newfound black voters at that, popular with the Hispanics, still has his core base completely intact. So I don't see Trump losing an election if things are fair, if things are played straight out, no election interference. And even if there's some sort of election interference, I think that enough shit has been put into place where Trump can't be jerked in these swing states like a Nevada, like a Arizona, like a Florida, to a sense. Like Trump, I feel has enough political power to where he could now, before he gets into office, ensure that his supporters in the conservative Congress and Senate make sure that these elections are as fair as possible. But even with some sort of cheating, if you will, I don't feel that Biden stands a chance against Trump. Having said all that, though, even though I do see an easy path for Trump to get into the White House, I do feel that that these liberals and the power elite, the deep state, if you will, doesn't want Trump to exist. So could I put it past them that they try some JFK in? Who knows? I can never put that notion out of my head like it's not possible, because it's entirely possible. But even if that were to, God forbid, happen, I think that the people are just so done with the system as it stands now that it wouldn't make a difference long term. that's Hunter Biden, because Hunter Biden is a nobody. Hunter Biden is basically a bad man, Joe Biden. He's a go-between between these people that want to throw money at Joe Biden and his father, his own father. But we have evidence now of that political underhanded dealing that the Bidens were getting up to, which Joe Biden was definitely benefiting from. 10% for the big guy, the big guy being Joe Biden, something that was seen many times in the Hunter Biden laptop, a reference to the 10% for the big guy. You could only conclude that that big guy was Joe Biden. Now, some liberal idiot or some liberal defender, liberal cuck, is gonna say, "Oh well, like that could be anybody. The big guy can, you know." No, I don't care about you. I don't want to listen. But evidence of these political underhanded dealings is now been registered in this Hunter Biden case. So that's a really big deal. I mean, like, so if Hunter Biden and Joe Biden had this little operation going, we should investigate all politicians, see what they're up to. And there's no sweat off my ass in terms of the politician that I endorse or that I want to win, Mr. T. I don't care if they investigate him, because they've been investigating him for 7 years and they haven't found shit. The best cases that they have are Stormy Daniels at this stage. The weakest of the 4 cases that Mr. T had thrown at him was the Stormy Daniels case, and that's the one where he has a guilty conviction. So I'm not I don't think that Mr. T is in any sort of peril because of his guilty conviction in New York City. I think most people see through that and see that it was a waste of time, especially if you live in New York or you're from New York like myself. But I think that most people have seen that as baloney, and Mr. T is just gaining a mass amount of momentum. I mean, if Mr. T does get into the office and subscribes to the same kind of chicanery that the liberals have done to him, I mean, Trump's presidency is going to be fucking bananas. It's going to be nuts. And I think that's a good thing, is that he peels into this onion and see what's underneath. See how these politicians get down. At this stage, the political system put all the table, just like the media did, to go after Trump. Didn't work. And now what could come of that is that people see right through it. People will want to begin to backtrack and look back at the moves that these politicians have made in the past, and hopefully find instances of times that these politicians or their families benefit from the money that the American people produce, the money that the American people are throwing away in faraway wars like the Ukraine. But we want to see all that. Mr. T is not the worst politician. I mean, how is it Bush bombed all these people with fake information regarding the IEDs in Iraq, and nobody investigates him? How is it that Obama authorized drone strikes, the first president to do so, introducing one of the worst weapons of war into the field, deployed in Russia and Ukraine, killing tons of people with these drones? Obama was the first one to introduce these drone strikes. Obama completely decimated the continent of Africa during his presidency, and nobody ever investigated him. But now the gloves are off politically, and if Obama was innocent of anything, I mean, like, I don't think he should be investigated. But if he's I don't think he should be investigated just to investigate them. But I know that all these presidents have oh damn, this shit left me in the hood. Irvington, hey shit, bro. I hate fucking these GPS detours. But look at this. Look at how Biden got us looking, man. All crazy. But the politics are going to be completely shattered moving forward. We're going to be in a whole different ball game politically, and
Turn left on County Road 601, Chancellor Avenue.
it's due time that the liberals get a bit of the same medicine that they've been disposing. I mean, or subscribing to Mr. T. But in addition to everything else falling apart that has kept us under his grip, like media and whatnot and politics, all these things are breaking apart, and I'm really enlivened by that prospect. I think things will get better really soon, not just because Mr. T will win, but because the veil is off. I think people are seeing like this world for what it is more and more now, and they've had it. They've had it. They can't afford it. They're just done with it all, and it's happening at the best time. So with that, I gotta use my GPS because I'm in the midst of shitty ass Irvington, New Jersey, and I want to go home. Not in, and home is not in Irvington, New Jersey. But I need my phone for the GPS, and I'm using my phone for this live stream. But if you get to hear this video after the fact, I want to thank you for checking me out. If you came here during this drive or live stream that I've done, Mr. Drunken One, great name. I want to thank you for coming through. But do keep checking out my content, my people. Algorithmically cock-blocked by YouTube because of the content that I because of my political espousings. But you guys could help me beat that algorithm. I don't need a dime from you. I don't like need your bread, but I do need your ass to wake up. I do need you to not take any more injections if they try to come up with a new version of the flu. I need you to not be such a sucker and feel like if it's on the TV, then it's more true than if it's fucking mook, bro. You're an idiot. Motherfuckers be driving like dumbasses around here too. But I need you break through this algorithm with me, and don't believe the hype. Don't believe none of these people. Don't assume that these people are even selling you a half truth. Think of everybody, including myself, as if they're lying to you, and you have to disseminate every single word that comes out their mouth, or every single sound that comes out that TV speaker. You should be disseminating all of it. Just because they give you a little tinge of, oh, well, it's anti-Trump, so it got to be right. If you think that way, you're a dumbass. If you think that, oh, like, well, these people are going after Trump, so they got to be telling me the truth, then you're not too smart. Go, bitch! Sorry. But, again, don't believe anybody. These are dangerous times that we're heading into. Do I feel that the past crises in the past may have been wielded against Mr. T? Oh, you know I subscribe to that notion. Will they try to make something like that again? Who knows? But don't believe the hype either way. I mean, like, let the world boil over if they must. But if they try to make you inject things into your arms again, tell them to fuck off. Your boy, Mr. Foul Player himself, who's speaking to you right now, has the proud distinction of not only never having taken that poison shot into my body, but never have I taken a COVID test, neither a nasal test. It kissed my ass. If I gotta go somewhere that requires me to do that, then I'm just not gonna go. Family members were trying to throw those rules around. relatives that were trying to throw those standards around in 2022 and 2021, wanting to check your papers to see if you took the clot shot, to go to their shitty ass Christmas parties or whatever gatherings, or that wanted a clear COVID test before they met up with me. That wasn't gonna happen, and I was right. I was right the whole time. I mean, not that I'm a genius for knowing this. I mean, it's obvious. The disease of 2020 and 2021 was not all it was hyped up to be. Like, yes, people died. People die of everything. People die of the common cold. I was in the midst of probably the area that was most affected by that in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. I know a ton of people that died in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. We have the second highest Asian community in the whole country in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. If you subscribe to the fake notion that COVID came from a wet market, which they were trying to tell us in 2020, and they just admitted that that was all a lie, that it actually did come from the Wuhan lab. Fauci also said that the theory that the virus came out of the Wuhan lab was true. He just testified that before Congress, or that theory may have been true, in spite of the fact that in 2020, if you thought that the virus came from a lab in China, you were racism. But if you thought that the vaccine came from a wet market in China, then you believed in the science. Going against anything Fauci said was anti-science. Now Fauci just got on the stand in Congress and told you, yeah, everything I was suggesting was a bunch of bullshit. Do you see politicians going after Fauci for lying to the American people? No, but now you know. Now, if you took that poison shot, you probably ain't gonna take it again if they try to run game on you again. So I mean, I guess you take the small victories where you can, but apply that to your whole life though. Make that the one lesson you learn from this. Like, hey, if these people are all telling me you got to take this, you can't work unless you take this, you can't travel unless you take this, you can't meet with me unless you take this, you can't come to family parties unless you take this. Sometimes people are just wrong. I mean, and you might be right, but if you were forced to take it or coerced to take it, now go with the stance, if you want something to look forward to, that listen, I'm not gonna fall for that BS ever again, and like that could be the positive you take from that. But I say that to leave you with something positive. I want to always leave you with the positive note. No situation you can't fight out of. Real fortitude is built when things look their worst and you still go out there and get after it. So never stop doing that. Don't let these people poison pill you or black pill you. Don't let these people make it feel like don't let these emotional people swing your feelings one way or another. Don't give people an inch. That's what you got to take from this. Some people are just wrong, and they're only validated by because the TV told them that the point that they're trying to push is right, but the TV's wrong. Most of what you're being told to is a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of lies. Treat everything like that, and you don't get lost in the sauce as much. But with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm gonna be out. Thank you for joining me in the Foul Playland with me. As always, I am Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. And with that, I'm out. Peace.